The movie begins with narration about visitors known as Cyrus, who arrived on Earth thousands of years ago. They influenced astronomy, architecture, and culture. In return, they sought to rule the world, but Hero and the god of light prevented this. Cyrus's return was tied to star alignments over a pyramid, where light would create a route for their arrival. Long ago, worshippers of Cyrus were imprisoned, but Queen Aba Amanpour escaped. She gave birth to a child, the last descendant of Cyrus, and entrusted the child to a stranger. Aba Amanpour died, and her body was placed in a coffin within the pyramid. The king locked the door using the key of heaven. Only worshippers of Cyrus would be saved. Meanwhile, a child taken by a stranger remains missing. Archaeologists, including Mastitone, seek the key. However, a man named Peter steals Mastitone's stick, leading to a mysterious quest involving an old shopkeeper. The proprietor of the shop entrusts the key to Peter, transferring ownership and granting him access. In the ensuing events, Peter activates a button on Mastitone's unique stick, triggering the emergence of a peculiar, pointed knife from within. Utilizing this unconventional weapon, Peter perpetrates the violent act of killing the shopkeeper, ruthlessly ending their life. Seizing the opportunity, Peter absconds with both the key and the money in his possession. Following these distressing events, Mastitone arrives at the shop and is confronted with the grim sight of the deceased shopkeeper. In the midst of this scene, Mastitone receives an unexpected phone call from Peter, who proceeds to employ a cunning tactic of blackmail. Peter reveals that the fingerprint found on the stick, presumed to be Mastitone's, could potentially implicate him in the crime. To avoid the dire consequences of legal involvement, Peter threatens to expose Mastitone's connection to the murder by surrendering the stick to the authorities. Mastitone embarks on a new course of action. He ventures forth and seeks out Kiri, a young woman renowned for her extraordinary ability to glimpse into the future. When Masterton inquires whether he will be capable of accomplishing his mission, Kiri responds affirmatively, assuring him that he will indeed succeed. However, she also experiences a peculiar vision that unsettles her. In this vision, she perceives the presence of individuals who have been awakened and are poised to cause harm to Cyrus. Additionally, Kiri glimpses a foreboding image of Mastitone himself, indicating that he will encounter difficulties. Despite her apprehension, Kiri refrains from divulging these unsettling details to Mastitone. Subsequently, Mastitone encounters a professor and a familiar acquaintance, Adler, who serves as the professor's assistant. Mastitone shares a close friendship with both of them. The professor proceeds to inform Mastitone about a remarkable event brought about by strong winds. A pyramid has unexpectedly emerged. Meanwhile, Mastitone instructs his assistant to arrange a call with his daughter. Once these arrangements are made, Mastitone departs from that location, leaving the professor and Adler behind. Late at night, the professor experiences health issues, prompting his assistant, Adler, to take him home. Adler inquires about proceeding with their mission, but the professor insists they must wait until the stars align. The next day, Adler finds the professor in worse condition and learns that he cannot lead the mission. Adler, having learned from the professor over the past 4 years, agrees to take his place. Meanwhile, Sarah arrives from London seeking answers about her mother's death, as her mother's explanations were unclear. The next day, Sarah visits the professor, but Adler informs her that the professor is hospitalized. Sarah criticizes Adler, claiming he's unfit for the mission. Adler leaves, and Sarah tells her father about the situation. Masterton advises Sarah to apologize to Adler, which she does. Eventually, Adler returns for the mission. Additionally, Rohit, an Indian with expertise in archaeology, joins the team. The next day, the entire team arrives at the pyramid. Local man Shahid and some soldiers join them to explore a way inside. They wait for the star's alignment, which will reveal the entrance route. As they approach the pyramid gate, Adler reads a warning. Once inside, escape is impossible, and only Cyrus's descendants will survive. Ignoring this, Masterton orders the soldiers to break the gate, and everyone enters the pyramid. Upon entering further into the area, the group discovers another gate, which had been securely sealed from the inside. Masterton speculates that those responsible for sealing it must have willingly sacrificed their lives to prevent outsiders from gaining access. Undeterred, they break the seal and proceed through the gate, only to be confronted by an abundance of hornet hives. Masterton commands his soldiers to destroy the hives. As the soldiers heed his orders and begin their task, the hornets retaliate by launching attacks on everyone present. However, each member of the group manages to escape and retreat to a safe distance, except for the soldier who had initially broken the hive. Tragically, he succumbs to the hornets' onslaught, losing his life instantly. Another soldier steps forward and employs a fire gun to repel the hornets. During their progress, Peter discovers a small golden statue positioned in their path. Peter reaches out and takes hold of the statue. Unexpectedly, a stone door descends abruptly and is tragically killed upon impact. Realizing the significance of the statue, Peter promptly returns it to its original position, causing the door to rise once again. Resuming their advance, the group comes across an area covered with an assortment of tiles. Sensing the potential significance of these tiles, Rohit, a knowledgeable individual from India, proceeds with caution, carefully calculating his steps. Rohit unintentionally steps on an incorrect tile, prompting Adler to speculate that perhaps the concept of zero had not yet been developed during the time this place was constructed. With this insight, Adler advises Rohit to commence his calculations from the number 1 instead, ensuring accuracy and enabling him to navigate the tiles successfully. After progressing further, the group comes across a massive stone. They endeavor to move the stone, revealing a hidden stairway upon successfully displacing it. As they step into the newfound space, they are greeted by a breathtakingly beautiful sight. Within this chamber, they come across the coffin of Queen Amanpour, a significant find. However, to the astonishment of everyone present, Masterton, acting foolishly, begins to remove the lid and callously discards the queen's remains. The group gazes upon him with a mixture of shock and disapproval, prompting Mastodon to explain that he desires neither Amanpour nor any treasures of gold or silver. Instead, his sole objective is to locate the Temple of Cyrus, which supposedly lies somewhere within the intricate labyrinth of the pyramid. Asserting his determination, Mastodon requests that Peter hand over the key to heaven, proceeding to place it where the coffin was previously situated. In a tense moment, a door in the coffin opens and everyone enters. As they proceed, Mastodon and Peter are advised to stay at the back, but Peter's anger leads him forward, accidentally triggering the door to close. The team splits into 3 groups. Rohit, Shahid, and a soldier move ahead, but the soldier falls unexpectedly. Meanwhile, Adler discovers a secret passage, and Sarah, Clyar, and Adler follow. Eventually, they encounter mummies, the killers of Cyrus. Clyar reveals that the mummies will awaken and threaten the world when Cyrus's descendants' blood touches the temple during star alignment. Upon hearing the warning, fear grips everyone. Suddenly, a powerful mummy attacks Sarah, and Adler's attempt to save her fails. The team opens fire, but the bullets prove ineffective. The mummy then kills Shahid. Amid chaos, Adler urges Sarah to find the exit. She succeeds, but the door can only open once. As it closes, Rohit and Peter are caught by the mummy. Rohit slips down the closing door, while Peter narrowly escapes, sealing the entrance. As the group progresses forward, they eventually discover the long-awaited Temple of Cyrus. Mastodon instructs Adler to open the temple door and proceeds to read the inscription on it. The inscription warns that only a descendant of Cyrus can enter first, or else the entire place will face destruction. Adler presses a button on the door and steps back, causing it to open. Mastodon reveals to Sarah that her mother was one of the descendants of Cyrus, explaining why he called her for this mission. In accordance with Mastodon's plan, Sarah becomes the first to enter the temple. Suddenly, a powerful light illuminates the surroundings, and a mummy begins to approach them. They all swiftly enter the temple, sealing the door from the inside using a button. Inside the temple, they finally behold the grandeur of the Cyrus temple. Adam proceeds to make Sarah sit and binds her hands. Mastodon then unveils his sinister plan, explaining that a drop of Sarah's blood will be used to touch the temple. In the ensuing events, Adler swiftly springs into action, attempting to rescue Sarah from the imminent danger. However, Mastodon, driven by his own motives, fires a shot at Adler. In a heroic act of self-sacrifice, Rohit interposes himself between Adler and the bullet, tragically losing his life on the spot. Mastodon forcibly initiates the first incision, ensuring that her blood makes contact with the temple's sacred ground. As a result, all the machines within the temple become energized, emanating a radiant light that falls upon the mummified figures in the vicinity. Miraculously, this phenomenon reanimates the mummies one by one, restoring them to life. Subsequently, Mastodon utters a murmured prayer, intended to summon Cyrus back to the earthly realm. The true intentions of Mastodon become clear. As Mastodon fervently continues his prayer to summon Cyrus, Adler suddenly arrives on the scene, rescuing Sarah from imminent danger. In a surprising turn of events, Sarah seizes a firearm from Adler and, with swift determination, shoots Mastodon, bringing about his demise. This turn of events aligns with the earlier vision that Claire had witnessed regarding Mastodon. With Mastodon's death, the ritual becomes disrupted, triggering the collapse of the entire pyramid. Panic ensues as everyone frantically runs, desperately attempting to save themselves from the crumbling structure. After a grueling struggle, they eventually manage to escape the pyramid's clutches, emerging into safety. To their relief, the professor also arrives at the scene, and he predicts to Claire that those who perished within the pyramid will undoubtedly return. As a symbolic sign, a solitary hornet that had managed to escape is also spotted emerging from the pyramid. With this occurrence, the movie reaches its conclusion, signifying the end of the story. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.